Hello everybody, welcome to another Moto Dev video. Today we have a whole new look on the channel, by the way. Tell me if you guys like it or don't. And then there's a few animations that I added, so should be fun to look at as we get in here. But we'll start with 250 main event 1. If you guys don't know what Moto and Dev Mondays are, they're exactly what we're doing right now. And we'll go ahead and kind of just recap the day, go over all the races, kind of talk about it, kind of give you guys a breakdown, what I think, what happened. Good mixture of everything. So let's start with 250 main 1. It was a good start for the top guys. Jet, Kitchen, RJ, Enzo, and Voland were all out there. Levi passed back for first after, Jet. I think Jet was in the lead, and then I think Kitchen ended up getting him back, and then Jet got him right back as well. So it was a fun little back and forth, but really Kitchen was not up to the challenge. RJ and Kitchen do different sections, and they kind of flip flop. RJ ends up getting the pass. I think he quadded really deep into that corner, was able to get him. Luckily, Levi went up towards that berm instead of hugging the inside or anything like that, because could have been bad. But yeah, and then Voland was trailing in fourth with Lopes in fifth as well. So those three, RJ, Jet, and Kitchen, kind of seemed like the new three to beat with Cameron McAdoo out. It looks like Levi didn't take his spot, but Levi was obviously there. And then kind of just gave Voland and Lopes a cushion in fourth and fifth. And then, unfortunately, after this whole thing started, there was a red flag. Plus the whole red cross flag thing, people saying that Jet jumped on it. He didn't. It was halfway through the section. If they're going to do anything, they probably would need to be on that first jump there. So you can't really blame Jet for that. That was like 3 or 4 jumps in. The guy was flagging, and he jumped 3 in. As soon as he saw it, he just came to a complete stop. So it was really good by Jet to, like, the way he reacted. I don't think it was bad at all. And then red flag. So restart, complete restart off the gate. We're not going to line back up and do race car start. So it was Styles Robertson who's actually down. So an injury riddled career gets worse. I feel so bad for the kid. Dude, it's so annoying. I mean, it just seems like a generally like good kid, great rider. He definitely has nailed starts in the past. Looks like he was just starting to get going on that Yami. And then he ended up breaking his leg, I think. He said that his ankle and leg felt hot, and his ankle just gave out on him. And then there was a report saying he had a broken leg. So unfortunate for him, for sure. Restart happens. RJ ends up taking Voland and Harrison out. The stupidest move I've ever seen. I understand you're eager to get to the top, but that is borderline selfish. I don't know. You guys can see it. It's over the top for me, at least. RJ Hampshire probably need to go about that probably a little bit better. Just trapped Voland in a horrible spot. He's pinched between someone accelerating and some like Mitchell Harrison caliber rider on the outside, so not a whole lot you can do there. And just feel bad for Voland because he was just on the ride there for a minute, and RJ just I don't know. Lopes was down in the first corner, which is a little disappointing to see. I was looking for him to have a big night. Levi was leading, Pearson fourth after wrecking before the start. Or before the restart. So Pierce was doing really well Pierce was down in that first start. He did not start well at all, and then ended up with the restart, ended up in fourth. So unfortunate for my predictions, but that is what it is. Jet was just pacing behind the chef, Levi Kitchen, misses the long section. Jet closes up and then passes him in the whoops. RJ closes on the chef. Half a lap later, RJ really turned it on, and the chef maybe lost a little bit of confidence. RJ got past Levi in the sweeper. Jet leads by 2.5 seconds, just about. Lopes to 7th after first corner crash, which was really fun to see him kind of work up the field. Again, we've seen him do it probably 2 or 3, 4 times now, so nothing fun really for the rest of that race, and that one was done. Headed 250 or 450 main 1, excuse me. Christian Craig obviously had a little bit of an injury. A big crash leads to injuries. Craig had a dislocated hip and elbow, and the elbow ends up being broken as well, is what their Instagram post says. So a dislocated hip and elbow, and the elbow is also broken. Have surgery on that once the swelling goes down. Tomac and Nichols get great starts here in this 450 main. Webb in second after first pass through, so like over the finish line, whatever you want to say. Kenny to third, I loved that for him. Looked really good too. A lot of guys in front of Sexton. Sexton was all the way back in eighth place. Nichols got shuffled down really fast after starting up there with the top, but I think that's okay. It was kind of what he was doing before. He's kind of like an Adam Cianciarulo, but way worse now, just by the way and how fast he kind of shuffles down. So that is a little like situation there, but Nichols definitely got those starts dialed. Barsha to third. Kenny got a little scared. Just let Barsha pass. Maybe Kenny sensed that Barsha might have had a little bit more speed. Maybe could have picked up on a few things, so just let him pass. See what you can learn from Barsha. Maybe you get him back if you have the opportunity. If not, it's not worth getting knocked out with Barsha trying to head to and charge to the top. Chase finally up to fifth after passing Jason. He was stuck behind him for a while. Ended up finally making that pass. So it was Tomac, Webb, Barsha, Kenny, Chase, all in the top five with Jason Anderson out there, obviously. Colt Nichols, Adam Cianciarulo, Aaron Plessinger. Obviously, all these guys are kind of just nothing changing really for a while, and then ends up just like kind of spreading out through time. Eli wins. Chase passes up for fourth in the last corner. That was kind of fun. Just gets extra points for him. Go to 250 main 2. Not a whole lot of notes on this one. Levi and RJ out 1 and 2. Volan went for RJ. He tried to get his get back. That was pretty funny to watch. Volan, I mean, just straight up went for it, and happy for him. I mean, it showed aggression, and it worked out for him. He ended up second after that corner, so I was really happy with that from Volan. I mean, it's his first sign of aggressiveness I've ever seen, right? And that's huge for a rider. Maybe shows that next step right there, but Jet ends up getting past Max in the sweeper after being held up from Volan for a while. By that point, I don't think he really had much left. Lopes passes Max Volan as well for fifth with 1 minute left. RJ ends up winning. I think the chef got second as well after it got kind of close. And so that was that whole race. 450 main 2. Good start for Chase and Eli. Kenny looked really good in third. Webb stuck all the way back in fifth by about 2 or 3 laps in. Chase ends up stalling. I guess that's a little bit more than 2 or 3 laps in. A bit into the race, Chase ends up stalling and then gets his get back in the next corner. It was really funny to watch. He was on the outside. He had the fastest whip segment time in that first moto, or second or third. I can't remember, but in one of the motos, he had the fastest whip segment time. I wouldn't be surprised if he had it in every single one. And so, yeah, he ended up just getting Eli back there after Eli had a little bit of a mistake down that whip section a little late there, and Sexton's just able to get right past him. So that was really fun. Nothing changing for a while. Webb closes in on Jason for fourth. They had a back and forth. Webb goes all the way back down to sixth. That was really stupid. Webb was gaining time consistently, but did not want to wait. Tried to force the issue. Jason Anderson went really low in that corner before the 2 on-offs, and Webb ends up just making contact. It was really bad for the both of them with the way that Anderson got right past Webb. Webb was in a bad spot for the very next corner. Not really thinking that one through. I'm not saying he's a complete doofus, but definitely didn't expect that from Webb. I thought that there would be a little bit more thought out process, but obviously he was eager to get up there. And got shuffled all the way back to sixth, and then had Barsha and Anderson, 2 very fast guys in front of him. That is probably hard to get there. So Sexton still slowly gaining time on Tomac. Eli probably did settle down though. Wasn't too worried. No new Chase got fourth in that first moto for sure. And so he kind of just settled down, kind of dropped back, kind of put his hands up, kind of surrendered a little bit of time to Sexton. It's not worth forcing the issue. Tomac's losing time really late in the moto to Kenny and Anderson. It wasn't really concerning because of the way that Tomac was riding. I think, like I said, he was a little bit more conserved, just a little bit more relaxed than these guys. Webb makes an effort to get past Barsha for the fifth spot. Sexton was flying. He took these boys to school. That is what I want to see Sexton do week in and week out, whether it's third place finish. I want him to do that. Despite the stall, it was a perfect moto from him. I think he handled everything great. It never once looked like he was off the rails. It was really, really good riding. Super happy for him and the way that he rides in these Triple Crowns, and maybe he can take that as confidence for the rest of the thing. And then hopefully he continues to get these kind of worse starts, maybe top 6 starts is where I look for him to be. He's got the speed to run up the whole thing, and I think it's every time that he's leading, he's made the mistakes or something like that. So unfortunate for sure. We're going to head over to the futures. It was a good start for Ryder D and Bomer. Bennick was there, but had issues with the 105 of finesse. Bennick was just too far away to do anything or watch anything that the top guys were doing. Bomer and Ryder were so good. I think Juju Bomer. Okay. Fun story. Hate to brag, hate to boast, but I'm good at evaluating talent. Called Chase Sexton success early. That's for sure. I forgot who else I watched. Can't remember, but someone I also Nate Thrasher as well. Nate Thrasher had a huge prediction on, and that's so far hitting really well. So there's that. Also, Ryder D was really good, but Julian Bomer, Juju, he actually ended up racing that first future race on the stock 250 or not stock, but didn't really have a great sponsor, great team around him. He's not on like Star Racing or Orange Brigade, which he's on now. But basically, he was riding so well, and I was like, dude, this kid looks like a legit person, like to go out and win this race. And unfortunately, I couldn't put it together those first two future races, and now we see what happens. He gets that good start, and this track kind of just suited the way that I think that he would have ridden like well at. I think that if I were to look at 5 minutes of Bomer riding, I would have said, yeah, this might be a Bomer track, and whatnot. So it was really cool. Looks like a pro out there. Juju should be a really fun one to watch as we go up. Solid ride for Ryder D. I think he was injured for most of the season. Comes back in, races futures, does fine. Nothing too concerning there. Good ride from Ryder D, and unfortunately, Bennick was not able to keep his streak alive. He did have the speed once he did see the open track to kind of get up, on time. That he probably like yo-yoed a little bit, but solid for all three of the top guys. But I'm sure Bennick wanted a better go at it. And 250 main event 3, Levi, great start, and great starts all throughout the night. I think that's really one to cap off. Is he has not been a great starter all this season. Comes into this week, and I think he started top 3 in every single main event. And there are some long starting straights coming up in the remainder of this championship, so that might suit well for Levi. Jet was in second. Kitchen was in first. RJ quickly up to third. He was like in 6th or 5th, and then just through the whoops alone was able to get up to third. That killed me. The announcers didn't see it earlier because he was in top 3 within seconds from whatever. It was really good. Later into that moto, RJ just didn't seem to really get the whoops down. Had the best save ever I think I've ever seen. RJ was incredible in that situation. That is a lot of strength taken right there, and a lot of luck too. I'm not going to say it's all skill, because obviously it's pretty wild. So a little bit of luck goes into that as well. But it was a really good save overall. Jet shortly after that mistake goes to first, so you can't imagine that gap. So after that, kind of regain, got to shake those jitters out from that gnarly almost crash. And so you kind of fall back a little bit as Jet is moving forward. That just made a huge gap. Kitchen is the third guy now. I think that he kind of did take over that. Cameron McAdoo, not quite to the same caliber, but I think he's that third guy now behind these two. Lopes, Pearson, Volan, all wild cards now. Maybe Mumford with a little bit more time on the bike. All of them are kind of just wild cards. They can go anywhere from where they start to where they finish, from maybe even third to probably about 8th, 9th. These guys are just really weird right now. I think Lopes is probably the safest one. Pierce is too inconsistent for me. He's got speed, but continuously finds himself in a bad spot, whether it's on the ground, whether it's a bad start, whether it's a severe mistake that costs him a couple of positions, kind of loses some confidence. Voland is a little interesting. I think certain tracks kind of play to his strengths, and he's not quite the well-rounded supercross guy we were hoping for this season. So it is what it is. And then Mumford with more time on the bike can really get up there. Whoops were really weird. I do want to explain this a little bit. With the way the whoops were, they weren't getting cupped out. It wasn't Indianapolis. And they held up all night long. It was really hard-packed dirt. And I don't know how to explain it. They stayed alive, but they did definitely get treacherous. So these guys constantly were just taking their lines and looking to stay up through them. Well, you had guys like Section. I think Kenny late in these motos as well looked like he wanted to go fast through them. And so it was just a really weird balance between the between everyone in the motos, because it was just a weird whoop section, in Glendale. Weird overall thing, weird overall everything. So interesting to see how that might play out. Maybe in years coming. That whoop section, it doesn't look brutal or anything like that, but it was really weird. 450 main 3. By the way, Jet won a Triple Crown. That's that. I'm sure that's well-known news. 450 main event number 3. Nichols ends up with the whole shot. And then down that long straightaway, Moran saw another bonus. He had those, in the cartoons when they see like a big bag of money and their eyes kind of just like shing, right? And then it turns to the money. I think that's exactly what Moran saw. He was talking about how much he enjoyed the 2 whole shot bonuses from, was it Indianapolis? I don't think it was. It might have been Detroit. Crap. I can't remember what race it was. It could have been even Seattle too. I don't know. But there was one where he was definitely happy to get those whole shots, and he talked about the bonus straight away. So I think that he saw that again. He saw he may have had a chance at it, and it came in way too fast. Way too fast. You just can't do that. Ended up taking a few guys wide, messing a few guys up, especially Sexton. But it allowed Barcia to finally get off to a good start. Sexton somehow flies up to 3rd. I don't know how he flies up the field like that. It was really interesting. It was kind of like the RJ situation, except it wasn't. Sexton just flew up the field. 3rd. Webb had another stinker of a start to another moto. Jason, huge get off in the whoops. Huge. That could have been a lot worse. Hopefully he's okay. I have not heard anything on him. I think he's fine. Might have a mild concussion. Hit his head pretty hard. It is weird. The whole whoop thing, like I was talking about. Those whoops can get weird in a second. It is what it is. Get off in the whoops. Seen it before from Jason Anderson, and hopefully he'll be fine and out for the next race. Be out there racing with these guys. Tomac, Barcia, Sexton running in a great place. Webb can't really catch up. Chase wasn't really pushing either. Barcia got close but didn't capitalize. Kenny all night long looked really great and whatnot. So that was fun to watch. That one kind of wrapped up, and then in the press conference, I think it was Chase Sexton asked about Cooper Webb, and he said something like "no finger guns tonight" or something like that. That was really fun and kind of a teaser, because it's a young guy like Chase Sexton, who's 23, I think, with Webb and all of these guys. I mean, he's obviously, Sexton looks incredible, and I think that he had a really good showing tonight, or I guess, a few nights ago for me. Saturday. Today is Monday. This will be out on Tuesday. So we're at the Moto In Depth Monday, part of Moto In Depth Monday. So it is what it is. Fun race, good week of racing. Can't wait to see how this kind of ages. A lot of things got shuffled up tonight with the way that Cooper Webb was, but never count Cooper Webb out. Ever count that guy out. He is never out of it. Never is he ever going to be out. So that'll be all for me. Thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate every single one of you, especially if you watch all the way to now. And if you guys did, make sure to leave a like and also consider subscribing. I would appreciate both those things tremendously. I'll see you guys next time.